Alright, we're gonna do a short-ish puppet stream. So last puppet stream I did what I'm gonna call a silhouette puppet. I'm not sure if there's an official name for it, but I'm gonna call it silhouette puppet, and I'll call these figure puppets. So these are more traditional, what you might think of as shadow puppets, besides hand shadow puppets. So these ones, we're going to cut out a figure and then put it on a stick. I personally prefer hot glue for the integrity, but for these, or for this one rather, I'm just going to do one for now. For this one, we'll tape it on a stick. So, like the silhouette puppets, if there are details, like I might go back and do like lines here for patterns on the cricket. But for the most part, we're just going to cut out the figure. And for the stick part, when you glue them on a stick, it can be like a popsicle stick. You can buy sticks from an arts and crafts store. Just because I have it on hand, I'm personally using a chopstick, like from takeout. And this is a fine detail. Now what's fun with stick puppets, depending what you're using them for, you can put the stick on top, which is what I'll do, or on bottom, which is probably easier for most people with whatever they're doing. I'm personally using this guy for like a little kind of box theater puppet show I'm doing for a class. And because it's in a box, for me it's going to be easier to put the stick on top. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. So I have 3 puppets. I have a jaguar and a little herd of jaguars. So these guys, I'll probably put the stick like this way so you can see. Sorry, I wasn't speaking in the mic. I'll probably put the stick here when I do this one so you can see the tails. This guy, I can kind of do any angle. Cricket, I'm also flexible with an angle. But if you have a puppet like this, you want to keep some details, you might want to put the stick somewhere where it doesn't cover those details. But I'll very likely post my little puppet box theater on my channel so you can see the final puppets and you'll better understand why I'm choosing to put the stick on the top of the puppets. So again, we're cutting out the silhouette. I would actually recommend, before entirely cutting it out, if there's any details, like I mentioned, I'll probably want a line here. Let's just do that now, actually. Any fine details, it's a lot easier to do before the puppet is cut out entirely. In fact, I could have just started with these, but since he's not cut out yet, it's not a big deal pausing our outline cut for the details. So I want his eye to shine some light through it. And as you'll see, I'm using an old planner on the back. My blueprint is an old planner paper. But I posted or taped cardstock on the back. So you want thick paper for these puppets. So I have my paper taped on the back. Alright, so this guy's tiny. There's not too much more detail beyond that. And we'll keep cutting out his body. And these delicate little antlers, I'm a little worried about them, but I really wanted that detail. So, have them narrow at top so he has a good base so it doesn't completely fall apart on me. I'm doing my best not to cover too much, but sometimes for this I kind of need my finger as leverage, so you won't be able to see everything because that finger's holding my paper down so it doesn't tear on me. Here's his little mouth. And lastly, his legs, the last leg here. So he will be delicate once he's fully cut out, but if I feel like it, using my fingers leverage, I might be able to add a few details if I feel like having more light shine through. But here we are. All right. Just flip him over to see. I think I'm comfortable untaping him right now to punch him out. So carefully with the X-Acto knife. Yeah. Whew. Okay. I was afraid I was tearing him. Get him out of there. And again, these will be blueprints just like we did for the other puppets. But for our cricket here, let's see. Sometimes it helps just even cutting out segments like that to get the paper out. I'm gonna do another set. Oh, there we go. It's gonna do a segment there, but sure, this will be our segment. There we go. Let's see here. Let's do a, okay, there we go. I guess I cut more. Sometimes if the little tips aren't fully cut, it gets stuck. But I guess I cut better than I thought I did because these are tearing out fairly quickly. Oof. These are very delicate appendages. I keep unintentionally choosing kind of complicated examples to do for streams. Ay, so close. Gonna do this segment here. Okay, there we go, we got it. One more segment. Why do I make such delicate puppets for streams? Oh my god. Okay. Well, I streamed last time. I'm gonna upload this afterwards. But still. Okay, there we go. So again, I might add a few more details, like patterns on him and such, but to keep this short, I'm gonna just show how you might want to get a little fancy with attaching your stick. So again, I like hot glue. You could also just tape, like just one single strip of tape. Another technique, if you want a little wobble, is on our stick. Let me get a longer piece of tape. So before anything, on our stick, get a tab of tape, and then don't bring it all the way down. Like, fold it in half so you have a little extra up here. Let me do that again. So you're gonna have a little extra space as you fold down. We're making a little tape tab. You might want to make it longer than I did, depending how large your puppet is, but here we have a little tape tab. Here's our tab. And this would be better for the jaguars, but I'm just going to show as an example, although I think I'm going to make a different tab so I can have that light bleed through. Yeah, I'm going to redo this personally, but just to show you guys what you could do. Now you tape your tab to your puppet, and if, say, you have a screen you want to put him against, you can easily put him against a screen thanks to that tab. If you're going to have him go up and down, it just kind of gives your hand some nice leverage. It's a little hard to see with the camera facing straight downwards, but it just adds a little more character to the puppet, having it at this nice angle for your hand, versus what you could do is just put tape straight on it like this, and then it's a little stiffer, but you still got a very basic stick puppet. And for the sake of this, I'll put our tab back on. And there we have a stick shadow puppet. You can put it again against a screen, or as I like to do, you can use an overhead projector. I personally like the aesthetic of the sticks, seeing that the puppet is somehow being moved by a puppeteer. I think there's some charm to that. So even on an overhead projector, I think stick puppets can be plenty fun. And yeah, this was a pretty short example. I'll happily do more in future, just given the time constraint, I wanted to choose one of my few. And you can look forward to seeing it in the final piece, which again, I hope to post on my channel in the near future. And I'll catch you next time.